Hey there, fellow runners and fitness enthusiasts. Welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Run Fit with Be Lit, your go-to podcast for all things health, wellness, and running. I'm your host, Be Lit, and today we have a special topic that's very close to my heart. We're going to be speaking about the incredible joys that you can actually discover if you are a back-of-the-pack runner. Now, this could be because your natural pace is going to be closer to the back of the pack, or because for a single race, you choose to be in the back of the pack. So lace up and let's learn all about those wonderful things that you get to experience. For so many of us, as we embark on our fitness journey, it's so easy for us to get caught up in the idea of speed, personal records, just achieving that highest level athleticism, all of those wonderful things that are so fantastic for you. But today, I really want us to really think about and remind ourselves that there's so much more to running than just crossing that finish line first. So picture this. You're at the start line of a race, you're surrounded by a sea of eager runners, you're all fueled by unique motivations and aspirations, everything that makes you become a runner. And as the gun goes off, you take your first steps, embracing that exhilaration that comes from the journey ahead, whether it's 1 mile or 3 miles or 13 or 26, or for the ultra runners, 100 miles, whatever it is. But here's the twist. You're not concerned about being the fastest today. Your goal is simply to complete the race and experience the vibrant tapestry that unfolds at the back of the pack, all those wonderful things that you get to see and experience during the race itself. So many people go into racing just to be the fastest that they never really take the time to enjoy what you can see. And one of the most remarkable aspects of running at the back of the pack is that you really have that incredible camaraderie that forms around all the participants. You will never make better friends that you'll more than likely sometimes never even speak to or know their names than you do at that back of the pack as you pull each other forward. You find yourself immersed in just a community of kindred spirits, all united by a shared passion for the sport. There's conversations that flow freely and laughter fills the air, and running suddenly becomes more than just this solo endeavor, but this vibrant social experience where you are talking to and relating to people who share exactly what you're going through in that moment. As we weave through the course, you'll just encounter just an array of captivating costumes and unique expressions of personal style. This is definitely where the costumes come out. Very rarely will you see a costume on someone who crosses the finish line first. That's going to normally be saved for that back of the pack. It's going to be the place where creativity doesn't have a bound, where you know it's not about conforming to that image or having to have all the perfect gear, but just embracing your individuality and letting your true self shine. And that's why I really like to tell people sometimes you need to run a race at the back of the pack just to experience. You got to throw on the funky headband or the colorful tutu, join those just crazy characters, that make running so unforgettable and so wonderful. But going back to just the encouragement, at the back of the pack, the support and motivation flows so freely. You witness that unwavering belief in oneself and others. Strangers truly become your cheerleaders. They offer words of encouragement and a helping hand to really get you through. And in those moments, you experience firsthand the power of community and reminding you why you're never alone on this journey for wellness. And I can truly speak to this. My first ever half marathon, I was so unprepared, it wasn't even funny. And I hit a wall at like mile 7. Again, for those of you who don't know, a half marathon is 13.1 miles. I was at mile 7 and I was struggling. And strangers really kind of came together and helped me pull through because I was running with the same people. We were about the same pace. We were doing run walk at the same rates, and they really helped pull me through. They talked to me. They encouraged me when I needed to walk extra. They cheered for me and helped me out and did everything they could to get me across that finish line. And I don't know their names. They don't know my name. We never talked about that. It was just about running. We talked about why we were running. We talked about what we were doing, how we prepared, but we never even introduced ourselves. And that seems so strange. But at that moment, we were just runners. And that's all that mattered because we just believed in each other. And that belief is so important because we need to not forget about that incredible sense of self-belief that blossoms when you really find yourself at the back. Surrounded by individuals who come from diverse backgrounds and abilities, you'll witness that unwavering determination to overcome obstacles. So many people back there are doing their first race, or this is going to be a PR race for them, because these aren't the people who are running those super fast elite times. These are the people who are there because they like being there. They're not fighting for the poem or the podium or anything. They're fighting for their own belief in themselves and telling themselves, I'm doing this for me and I can do it because of me. And it's so inspiring when you get to push through your own barriers and unlock your true potential, and being around others doing that same thing. It is just absolutely exhilarating of a feeling. It is just such a fun experience. I really feel like we need to highlight that sheer fun and enjoyment that you get from running at the back of the pack. You're freed from the pressures of being the fastest. You can fully immerse yourself in the experience. You're not sitting here with your lungs just shredded apart as you're pushing to hunt down that next person or to get first place or second place. Those things are great. And I do feel like everyone should experience that as well. But also being able to embrace just that picturesque scenery and appreciate the cheering crowds and just those simple pleasures of putting one foot in front of the other. For me, when I do these races, I've done one in Wilmington. I stopped to pet every single dog that was on the sidelines cheering for us. Every single one. 14 in total. Only one of them didn't want me to pet it. He was a little iffy with crowds. But getting to do that was wonderful. I stopped to take pictures at the top of every single bridge. And I took pictures of the beautiful waters that we ran by because that race was absolutely gorgeous. And I was so excited that that race for me was just about getting the miles. And I really got to know myself. I met someone who was in high school doing their first half marathon, and she was struggling. I shared some of my fuel. I gave her one of my applesauces and we talked, and I got her across that finish line, and she wouldn't have made it without me. She even straight said, she's like, I was about to quit and tell my dad to just figure out how to come get me. But I got her across because that's what you do when you're not fighting for place and fighting for time and PRs. You just get to have that joyous experience that connects your mind, your body, and spirit, and just really celebrate yourself. And beyond that, you also do make friendships. Now, I've told a story about two people that I've never talked to again. And that's true. They got me through and I had no clue their names. But I've also made friends with people that to this day I do talk to. It's not all just sometimes where you just talk and, y'all were runners and we're getting each other through. Sometimes if there's someone local, you'll recognize them next time you see them and you'll talk to them. I had my first half marathon when I had to go up that final hill. I didn't realize I was speaking out loud. I thought I was in my head. I was like, just got this hill. Just got this hill. I can get over this hill. I can do this. I can get over this hill. Just this one last hill. And I was like saying how far I was because my watch was telling me where I was at. And somebody who was next to me heard me and I helped her get through it. And then we ran into each other the next day and we spoke, and we've been friends and talked to each other about races ever since, because that was all it took, was just getting each other through. And in that, just pursuit of just completing the race, you again find those kindred spirits. They understand your struggles. They celebrate your victories, their unwavering support along the way. And those friendships do go beyond that finish line. And they can become lifelong bonds with someone who's just well-being and a network of encouragement for you long after that race is over. Because you are going to have people local. You're going to have people who drove hundreds of miles for the race. It could really be anything depending on where you live. And that is so wonderful. And you're not going to get to make those kind of bonds at the front if you're fighting for first place. You're not going to be like, hey, how are you? I hope you're having a great day, when it's you or them to get the, gold medal at the end. That is saved for the back of the pack when you're really just there for enjoyment. So to all my fellow runners out there, I really hope that the next time you lace up your shoes and you hit the pavement, you remember running's not just about being the fastest. It's not about beating the PR or beating the person in front of you. Sometimes it is just simply about the joy of, embracing that journey and savoring the moments and finding just that immense feeling of accomplishment that awaits you when you're just there to explore and experience what you have going in front of you. So as we end today's episode, I want to leave you with a few key takeaways. Again, I've said it before, say it one more time. Running is not solely about being the fastest or achieving a specific goal. It's about embracing the journey and finding joy and connection. Whether you are the front, middle, or back of the pack, always remember that each step you take is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery and personal triumph. Embracing that vibrant tapestry of experiences that await you and relishing in that unique joy that can always be found in the race. You just have to be in the right place. And last, again, thank you for joining me. I know this episode was very short compared to most, but this was something I really felt like needed to be said, because I've spoken to so many runners recently who make like a 2-second PR and they're stressed out and they feel like they're not good enough. And I feel like it's really come to the point where a lot of people have lost the purpose of running, and they look at it so much as a competition that they forgot about the joy that they had when they started. They forgot about the inspiration and the laughter and the renewed sense of purpose as they hit their own fitness journey and running journey. And they were so stressed out about being the best that they forgot about being their best. So until next time, keep running, keep believing in yourself, and keep embracing all the joys that await you at the back of the pack, front of the pack, middle of the pack. Stay fit and stay fabulous, guys.
Thanks so much, runners, for spending time with me and listening to this episode. If you liked what you heard, please hit that subscribe button and leave me a review. I always love to hear from my listeners. And if you want more Let's Run Fit in your life, find me on Instagram at Let's Run Fit with BLit. Until next time, runners. The information in this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for medical or professional advice. Please always consult a medical professional if you're seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The Let's Run Fit podcast is not liable for risk or issues associated with using or acting upon the information in this podcast.